Hey everyone, it's Miss Shaquin. Today I'm going to show you how to use our Linocut tool in order to make a print of our endangered plant or animal. So if I pull up my doc cam here, I'm going to show you what you should have done already. You should have your sheet that says Iowa species endangered with your name, what your plant or animal is. So I'm doing the Indiana bat, why it's endangered. So there were a couple of reasons I found for mine. One was that white-nosed bat syndrome has been killing them. And then also their habitats have been disturbed, and that also contributes to why they're endangered animals. What is being done about it? There is an endangered species law that has passed, and it's in place to help protect its habitat. An interesting fact I found about it is it weighs 1/4 of an ounce, which is about 3 pennies. So it's super lightweight. After that, what I did was I drew a picture of my bat. You can see it right here. It's a little messy, but that's okay. And then you should have taken a pencil and really just covered the back of your paper completely. And this is going to make it transfer onto your rubber mat. Now you can kind of see I've done that, but I'll just show you again. So you will want to take a colored pencil and you are going to just trace over all of your lines. The reason we're using a colored pencil is because then you know where you have traced and where you still need to trace. So that's kind of the idea there. I already have it down, so I'm going to leave it. Now with the Linocut tool, there is an end that you can open up and you have all of these other tools. Now it's very important that we don't lose these, but if you can see the curved end, the end with the writing on it, you can kind of see there's some writing. That's the part that you slide inside of the tip. So the actual cutting area is on the other end, and they can be a little bit sharp, so be careful. I have chosen to use the smallest tool, and I'm going to keep out a slightly bigger one that I might trade it in and out for. The rest, just make sure that we put them in here, make sure we're not losing these. To exchange them or to swap them out, I'm just going to turn it left, lefty-loosey. I don't need to turn it too much and it slides right out. I will take the curved edge that's not sharp, slide it in, righty-tighty. Okay, so this one will make a bigger cut than this one. I think I'm going to save this for tiny details. Now, when I'm cutting, anywhere that you carve is going to be left the color of the paper. So my cloud here, I put a bunch of X's on here because I want it to be white like the paper or whatever color I want. Now I'm putting it on top of this inking plate so that I don't accidentally cut into the table. You can see right now I've started to kind of carve in, and you want it to be fairly deep. I'll zoom in a little bit more. So again, I'm carving this area, which means when I put ink on it, ink is not going to be able to get on this area, which means it will be left whatever color paper I use. Now I'll give you some options. You might use white paper or some neon colored papers. Now if I push this and slip, I could hit my hand. So I'm just going to kind of make sure to move my fingers, and I'm going to put all of these crumbs down here on the bottom because then I can just tip it all into the garbage when I am done. So I'm going to pause the video for a minute while I do my cloud. Okay, and we're back. I'm going to show you what I've got done. As you can see, I carved out the clouds. I also carved out my moon and my stars, and I had to switch to my teeny tiny scraper. And what I learned was that if my other scrapers, they could get really deep down, but this one, I had to start with a very just tiny scrape on the surface level. It doesn't get as deep down. Now you can keep scraping away, but if you try to do too much at once, it doesn't work very well. Now I might even deepen these just a little bit, and I'm going to feel it. Now, if you go to print and you notice that some of the areas aren't deep enough, you can always go back again. Now, if you do get a bit of pile of buildup, you can always dump it to clean off your workstation. What I'm going to do next is I need to work on my bat. Now, keep in mind that everything you do is in reverse. So whatever you scrape away will be the plain paper color. So I think I want to use colored inks and like black inks, maybe blues and purples for my bat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape away these parts on the wings where those ligaments are, where the bones are. Now I tried to go a little bit too deep with this narrow one, so I might even switch to one of my slightly bigger scrapers. Now if you hold them up, you can kind of compare them. I see that this one is maybe more of a medium size, so I'll show you again how you switch in a lefty-loosey. And if you pull it out too much, the whole top portion will come out, and there's a few little holding pieces in there. Just be very careful not to lose those either. Just keep it upside down so they don't fall apart. We're going to just tighten it up, slide it in. You're going to look for a little gap in the space. You might have to wiggle it around, tighten it up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey is how I remember it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in. Yes, I think that will be good. Feel free to start smaller and go bigger, because you can always make something a little bit deeper of a cut, but you can never go back to make it less shallow. So if you are in doubt about which size to use, start small and then go from there. Okay, I am going to finish, and this is a bad thing. I could slip and hit my hand. So I'm going to move my hand right there. I'm going to experiment with some of the little ones, the big ones, to just finish carving this piece out, and then I will show you how we are going to print. So give me just a minute. Okay, we are ready to print now. So let me show you what I have done. I have used my tiny scraper to add some texture because Indian bats are furry. I have also done a few lines on the wings just to kind of show the direction it's going in. And I actually had to go around the edge of these wings because if I hadn't, the background would have just blended right in. So I think I'm ready to go. I have my paper, which I'm going to put a stamp on the bottom. I have my nice colored paper, and then just a plain piece of computer paper that we will use for a ghost print. This right here is printing ink, and it is really thick and goopy. Kind of reminds me of like tar or something. I am going to put a dab on here. Now, I don't mind putting it on this lid because we can just clean it up when we're done. And some people use maybe throwaway plates or whatever, but I would rather have less waste. Next thing I'll do is I'll take my brayer, and I'm just going to roll it out and get lots of ink all over the brayer. It might not turn very well, but that's okay. It's just so sticky. Okay. Make sure ink is all over my squeaky little brayer. And then I am going to ink my bat. Oh, that looks so cool. And I'm not stressing if it doesn't turn out for the first prints. I can always clean it off and then do a little bit more carving. Make sure the edge, I'm trying hard not to get it on my skin. It will come off, but I kind of need clean fingers for my prints. I'm going to make sure my hands are clean. If you need to wash your hands, feel free to, because I don't want to accidentally get ink on my paper on the edges where I don't want it. Okay, I'm going to start off with my good paper. And I'm already seeing there's some of the texture areas on the belly that I might need to recarve next time around. Now I could try to fit multiples onto this, 2 side by side, but really I am, oops, see, mistakes happen. I might go ahead and actually flip this. I'll clean off the table in a minute. So this printing ink is very, very messy. I am going to try to center it as best I can. I'm just going to kind of plop it down. Now I've noticed I got some on my fingers. I'm just going to dry it out, spread it, press it down, use the palm of my hand, and let's see what we get. Not bad. Okay. Yeah. So I'm noticing that my lines here, they got some ink in it. So either next time I need to maybe not, I was pressing with fingers and I think that it's better to press with palm. So I'll try only pressing with my palm next time. I also might carve out these just a little bit deeper and maybe make sure to press down the edges more. So we learned something with every print. Now I have ink left on here. I honestly, well, I'll put it on the practice page. Or no, sorry, deciding. I'm going to put it right down here because it looks pretty good and I just want to show you how it might look when you're done. Press it down. I'm only going to use my palm and I'm going to remember to press down on the edges. Once I think I have that, I will peel it off. Ooh, you know what? I think that this print is even better than my first. Some of those details are showing up. That is very cool. Now, what I'll do next, I might even try to get another ghost print, but I will clean up my workstation, do some more prints depending on what part of the process you are on. But then the cool thing is when this dries, you can also go in with colored pencil and add some color or leave it black and white. The possibilities are endless. But that is just a quick overview of how to do the Linocut prints. I'll see you in class probably.